to introduce the governor as our first speaker this morning, and we thought it was appropriate to put him first on the agenda this morning since this is his home state. And for many of us who don't live in New England, we don't get up here as often as we should. But it is beautiful. You have a magnificent state. I understand that you were here. I was not here last night. There were my comments, but you dropped by also and greeted people last night. So that was very generous of you to come over and share with other excited Republicans from all over the Northeast. Governor Don Carcieri was inaugurated as Rhode Island's 57th governor in 2003. He is a native Rhode Island resident. He was in private industry before that, which is what you always want someone in politics to understand about meeting a payroll, that it's not just a life of politics or being a community organizer before you move up to the presidency, that you actually had to do something substantive and pay the bills. He's also a family man. He has 4 children and 14 grandchildren so far. I don't know if he has more on the way. We'll find out in a minute. One of the things that Governor Carcieri's done since he's been in office, he's done things that you would hope a typical Republican would do, which is rein in state spending, work towards the lowering costs for the average family, and being a bit more business friendly, which is why states who were really deep in the red eventually turned to Republican governors. We saw this again and again and again, and usually when we do win a governorship in the Northeast, it's because the Democrats have made such a huge mess, and the people come back and say, wait a minute, we need somebody with fiscal responsibility, good leadership, good background, good business background, family man, and somebody we like and trust and admire, and that's who the citizens of Rhode Island chose to lead them. So I'm proud to introduce Governor Don Carcieri, our home governor.
That's my breakfast. Thank you very much, Lois and Jody. Thank you. It was a great time last night. Let me acknowledge right at the outset what I say consistently, and it's true, although she didn't like me to say it, my better half, okay? My wife of 44 years, mother of 4 children and 14 grandchildren, Sue Carcieri over here. If you think I believe in conservative principles and good Republican principles, I mean, she puts me to shame. She is really one of us in the best sense. But let me just say at the outset, first of all, this is the Ocean State. Welcome to all of you. I don't know about you, I passed a cruise ship on 95. I know you don't expect the ocean on the highway. If I said to the trooper, I want to find out before everybody, who brought this rain? Who brought this rain? I mean, we've had a beautiful stretch of weather here, and you're in a great place in Newport, and unfortunately, we're catching a bad day, which means I guess all the sessions, Jody and Louis, should be well attended. But let me also say to all the out-of-staters, welcome. We're thrilled to have you here in the Ocean State, as I said. And as I often say to out-of-staters, please stay, linger, stay as long as you want, spend all your money. All right, we need that right now. In fact, all the Rhode Islanders, you've got a duty right now. You've got an assignment. Find an out-of-stater. Make sure they leave with their wallets empty. I want to see that happen. But we're all chasing whatever revenue we can, as you all know, in your states right now. Let me just say also, because you got a great program today. Last night I came over because Jim Douglas came in from Vermont, and Jim and I came in together at the same time. He's chosen not to run again, which is really unfortunate for the Vermonters, because I think he's just one of the great governors. And this year is chairman of the National Governors Association. So every time I get an opportunity when I'm with Jim, I really enjoy it, enjoy his perception, and last night, I know those of you there, he gave a good overview of what he sees going on right now. So it was a wonderful, wonderful introduction to get kicked off. And I know you've got, I didn't see him out here, but I know you got Governor Sununu coming, and he's going to be speaking today from the New Hampshire contingent. It was great to see that. Also, you're going to have a great program. I know Rob Simmons is here yet, but Rob is somebody that is going to capture back the Senate seat in Connecticut because I got to know him. Yeah, let's give him a little I got to know him when I first came in because, as most of you are familiar with in the different states, but particularly here in New England, we get the shakes a little bit when something called a BRAC happens, because the whole base realignment and closure process, and we went through that here in Rhode Island when both the Navy pulled out at Quonset, a huge adjustment in our state. And we went through one when I first came into office, and Rob Simmons then was the congressman from the district that included New London, where Electric Boat is, and we have a large electric boat facility here. Anyway, I really got to know Rob and saw him in action and the passion he has for his state and his constituents, and worked with him closely. I attended Sue and I a fundraiser for him here in Newport when he was running one of his previous elections. So great guy, and for all the Connecticut people here, you got to get him elected. You got to get him elected. All right, he's a guy that will really do a fantastic job for Connecticut. I know you also have a number of reps, people that are running for Congress. You got 2 Rhode Islanders. One I know is going to be on the panel a little bit later, John Laughlin, who's a state rep. And John has done a great job carrying forward all the principles of good republicanism, good conservative principles, and you'll be impressed there. You also got, I saw him last night, Mark Carcieri, who's here. He's running against Congressman Langevin as well. Challenged him last year, did well. Going to go at it again, and I know we've got a number of candidates from other states that are represented here. Let me acknowledge also our national committee man and woman. I see Carol Mumford back here, committee woman. I don't know if Joe Trillo was here. I know Joe was inviting all of you out on his boat this afternoon. All right, is Joe here? And you know, it's too bad because a tour around Newport and around the harbor on Joe's boat would be a fun time. So maybe with some luck, the sun will clear. You're going to also hear, I know I just see him standing in the back, from Ken McKay, who's the chief of staff at the RNC. And I know a little bit about Ken, in that he ran both of my campaigns and was my chief of staff in my first term. And so what I like to say is that Ken is used to operating in enemy territory. He's used to it. He knows what it's like, you know, to battle away here in Rhode Island in the Northeast as a Republican. So, and I know he's loving what he's doing right now for the RNC, and look forward to hearing from him a little bit later on. You know, in terms of this morning, you know, a couple of thoughts that I just wanted to touch on. You got a busy morning, and I want to make sure to keep you on schedule. But you know, I don't need. It's not a news bulletin right now that these are tough times, and tough times in all of our states. As you're probably aware, we in Rhode Island really felt it severely. We went through a real boom in real estate. We really got a bubble that was a gigantic bubble, and we rode that for probably the first 4 or 5 years. When that bubble burst, we felt the downturn earlier here than most states. I mean, I'd say that California, Florida, Nevada, and ourselves had some of the highest appreciation of real estate values. And so when that bubble burst, we really felt it. We've got very high unemployment right now, struggling as most of the states with revenue forecast. But I'm proud that what we have tried to do is manage our way through this.